first manager for Mr. Brady at that time. He said, I've been talking to people around town and asking if there's anybody that could do the local high school sporting events on the radio for me. And I've had several people suggest you. Would you be interested in doing that? And I said, yeah, I'd be interested in doing the games. But do you have anything else? And he said, well, sales, you could sell. And so we talked for some time and worked out a deal where I would come in and I would help with the morning show doing sportscasts, and then I would do sporting events, and I would sell advertising the rest of the time. And mid-January, I went to work.
That was Larry here on this WHOW 75th anniversary feature.
News time is 9 minutes after 7 o'clock here on this Monday morning. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. We start this expanded newscast, taking a look at rain here from the last few days. It really stormed a lot, and we got a lot of rain in central Illinois. We start with Saturday night, where we saw some vicious downpours here in Clinton. Two reports, not very far apart, just a few blocks, in fact, apart. One of 1.5 inches, another of 1 3/4 inches. Over in the Farmer City area of DeWitt County, maybe a mile apart. A couple of reports, one of 1.7 inches, the other of 2 1/10 inches of rainfall. That is just from Saturday here in DeWitt County. We move north to McLean County. Bloomington normal, reports ranging from 1.7 inches, 1.8 inches, 2 inches in Bloomington normal. In southern Bloomington, just off of Veterans Parkway, 2 2/3 inches of rain, 2 6/10 inches of rain on the east side of Bloomington off Veterans. East side of Bloomington as well, reports ranging in that area between 1 3/10 inches, 1 1/3 inches, 1 4/10 inches, 1 3/4 near Towanda Barnes Avenue in the southeast side of Bloomington normal. 2 4/10 inches of rain, 2 4/10 inches of rain in Downs at the interstate, where the interstate turns into Veterans, or you can get on 72 and 55 as well. 3 inches of rainfall a few miles away from that marker. 2.5 inches of rain far northern Bloomington, near Towanda, about 1 inch of rain reported there. We mentioned nearly 2.5 inches in Downs, 1 3/4 inches in Hayworth, 2 1/10 inches in Leroy, north of Aerosmith, just 0.8 of an inch. Outside of Ellsworth, 1 3/10 inches. North of Bellflower, along 54, 1 1/10. That is in the southeast corner of Bloomington normal. Danvers, 2 1/10 inches of rain, just 0.4 of an inch of rain in Lexington. And again, this is all just from Saturday in McLean County. Logan County, reports ranging right at that 1 1/10 inch and a fifth of rain in Lincoln in Logan County. Between Hartsburg and Atlanta, about 0.5 inch of rainfall between Atlanta and Lincoln on the highway. 0.9 of an inch of rainfall just off of 54 as you get into Logan County, off of 54, about 0.8 of an inch of rain. A few miles to the north of that marker, over 1 inch of rain far southeast corner of Logan County between Latham and Warrensburg, where the county lines meet, and 0.8 of an inch of rain, 1 1/4 inches in Elkhart in Logan County. And again, this is just all from Saturday in central Illinois. We've got a couple of reports of the combined 2-day totals between last night's rains and Saturday's rains. We go down to Macon County, just outside of Oriena, along the highway, just short of 1 inch of rain. Near Warrensburg, also just short of 1 inch of rain in the Warrensburg area. Far southeast McLean County, between Mount Zion and Dalton City, 0.3 of an inch of rainfall. Let's go to Piatt County, Monticello, 1 6/10 inches. Again, this is just Saturday, 1 4/10 inches off the highway just outside of Monticello. Far western Piatt County, 2 inches of rainfall north of Cisco, south of Cisco, just outside of Allerton Park. 2 inches of rainfall. To far western Piatt County, north between Cerro Gordo and Cisco, 2 inches of rain. Just outside Bemint, 2 1/5 inches of rain. Just north of Bemint, 1 2/3 inches of rain. Far northern Piatt County reports ranging just north of the highway, 1 1/5 inches. But then just south of Mansfield, a couple of reports, one of 1 9/10 inches, 2 2/3 inches, 2 7/10 inches in Piatt County. North of 74, 2 8/10 inches of rainfall in Piatt County, all from, again, just Saturday. So much rain in those rain showers from Saturday. Let's see. We've checked off Macon County, Logan County. Let's take a look at the Peoria area. 1 4/10 inches in Peoria County near Morton. 1 inch of rainfall. Pekin, 3/4 inch of rain. Washington, just short of 2 inches of rain in northern Tazewell County. Taking a look at Moultrie County, far northern Moultrie County, 2/3 inch of rainfall just outside of Taylorville. In Christian County, 6/10 inch of rain, 1/4 inch of rain in Edinburgh. But if you followed those rain storms on Saturday, really a lot to the north, almost like Piatt County, the Decatur area north. That's where we saw the most rain. Let's take a look at some of the Champaign-Urbana totals. Reports ranging between 1 1/5 inches, 1 1/4 inches, 1 1/2 inches, 1 2/3 of rain. Again, in Champaign County. Again, this is all just from Saturday. Boy, Mahomet just pounded with rain. 2 6/10 inches, 2 8/10 inches, 3 1/10 inches, 2 3/4 inches, 2 7/10 inches. All the reports out of Mahomet, again, just from Saturday. But again, the disparity in where some of those rain showers were, just 1/2 inch of rain reported in Rantoul, north of Fisher, 6/10, 8/10. A couple of reports north of Fisher in far northern Champaign County. Homer area of Champaign County, 1 1/4 inches, 1 4/10, 1 1/2 inches in the eastern portion of Champaign County, 1 1/3 inches. 1 3/10 in St. Joseph in eastern Champaign County yesterday. Sedoris, 1 3/4 inches in southwest Champaign County from yesterday. Nearly 2 inches of rainfall reported in Tuscola. In Douglas County, far eastern Douglas County. Newman, 2 1/3 inches of rain. Murdoch, 2 1/10 inches of rain, again, in Douglas County from yesterday. And again, that's just from Saturday. As we take a look at those rainfall totals from last night, 2/3 of 1 inch of rainfall in the Bloomington Normal area, 3/4 inch of rainfall in Logan County, 1/3 inch of rain in northern Piatt County, 2 1/4 inches in Springfield yesterday, 2 1/4 inches in Petersburg. In Menard County, 1 8/10 inches in northern Peoria County, Peoria area, about 1 inch of rainfall there. 1 3/4 inches of rain in Metamora in Woodford County. Let's see. Champaign-Urbana reports between about 1/3 to 4/10, 1/2 inch of rain in the Champaign-Urbana area last night. 4/10 inch of rain in Mahomet. 1/4 inch of rain in north of Mahomet. 1 1/10 inches in St. Joseph. About 1/3 inch of rain in Homer. But a lot of those rainfalls from last night were kind of concentrated in some areas. Some areas hit harder than others. The 2-day total, we take a look at Lincoln, and about 2 inches of rain between Saturday and Sunday rains. In the Towanda Barnes area of Bloomington Normal, 3 inches of rain in total the last few days. 3 1/10 inches of rain in Danvers. In western McLean County, 2 6/10 inches of rain in total. In Leroy, 3 inches of rain in total. In northern Piatt County, 3 inches of rain in total. In Mahomet. In Champaign County, mentioned 2 inches of rain in Lincoln, 1 1/4 inches of rain in northern Moultrie County between the 2 days. About 2 6/10 inches of rain in Christian County around the Taylorville area as well. 2 9/10 inches of rain in far eastern Douglas County the last few days as well. And this is the beauty of CocoRoz.org. This is where we're getting all our information here for this morning, CocoRoz.org. You can pick out a day or you can pick out a range of dates. But again, CocoRoz.org, very, very interactive map and easy to use. Again, that is CocoRoz.org. Let's take a look at the news in this hour here for this morning. If you have a hobby that you'd like to use to give back to the community, perhaps becoming a 4-H judge would be a good way to do that. University of Illinois Extension 4-H coordinator in DeWitt County, Kendra Wallace, is looking for judges for this year's 4-H fair, which is the first weekend of July.
We will always take volunteers. There's no such thing as too many judges. So if anyone has an interest, they're more than welcome to reach out here at the extension office, and we'd be happy to find them a place. Generally, we would ask that you give us an idea of your interest areas. So let's say, again, someone has an interest in visual art, we can put them there. We have a time slot judging rotation. So the kids, once they check in their projects, they'll select a time that works best for them. That way it doesn't conflict with other project area judgings. And we generally ask about 3 to 4 hours for the day, because our larger areas, we try to encompass enough judges that it's not going to be, a whole full day time commitment. But we always encourage them to stick around and see what the other project areas are doing as well.
This is the time of year fair planning starts to ramp up for Wallace and the staff at the Extension office. She explains each year has a checklist of things that need to be in place by the time fair season kicks off.
We definitely have a yearly checklist. We start really in January and start to get things checked off, such as like tent rentals, that kind of different things that we can get planned in advance. But there are a lot of times that we have to roll with the punches and see what comes along, especially when it comes to hearing back from our superintendents, because sometimes, plans change and everyone's not necessarily available. So making sure that all of those slots are filled, as well as judges for the county fair.
Wallace indicates now until June 1st, they have the 4-H Fair entry program open. Additionally, there's an open house May 24th for 4-H participants to come out and get any questions or concerns addressed.
Starting today until June the 1st, we have our fair entry program that's opening. So 4-H members that would like to exhibit at the fair can now go in and enter their classes for their projects. And again, that runs now starting today until June the 1st. And then on May the 24th, here at the DeWitt County Extension office from 5:30 to 7:30, we will be hosting an open house for parents and leaders and families to come and ask questions or get some assistance with entering those projects as well. At the beginning of the 4-H year, members go in and they select the project areas that they anticipate showing in. And so that just tells us, hey, we're bringing a rabbit, or we're going to bring a visual arts project, or maybe a tractor project. Now for fair entry, that tells us which classes they're going to show in. So for that visual arts project, are they bringing a clay or mixed media? The rabbits, they can tell us what breed of class they're showing in, and then same thing for tractors as well, like what if they're going to be showing in tractor A, B, or what that'll be for is just some extended office hours, again, for parents, members, and leaders to come in and get additional help. We have had a little bit of a program change from last year for our fair entries, so we just want to make sure we're available to help everyone get those registered. What has happened is our members saw the beginning of the 4-H year, September 1st, that we went from a 4-H online enrollment program to the Z Suite enrollment program. And so with the change of membership enrollment programs, that has affected our fair entry. The two programs don't talk to each other anymore like they used to.
The 4-H Horse Show in DeWitt County is July 1st and 2nd with rain dates of August 5th and 6th. The livestock and general shows are July 6th through the 9th. This May, Social Security is highlighting the mySocialSecurity account and why anyone of any age needs one. Jack Myers with Social Security indicates if you already have an account that was created before September 18th, 2021, you can continue to log into that account using your username and password. Upon entering your password, you will get a one-time code sent to you via text message or email.
We talk a lot about that, Seth, how when you go to ssa.gov and you look for the My Account, basically, we've got all kinds of good information on our Social Security website at ssa.gov. But if you create your own My Social Security account, then that's your personal portal into your information. So it's all your stuff. So it's really good to have access to that account. But there are a few things, I get a lot of questions from people who are going on to the website and, maybe they aren't quite sure where to go once they get into the account. See, basically, we used to set the accounts up one way, and then we changed to a slightly different way. So if you've got this older account that you set up through My Social Security prior to September 18th of 2021, then you still have the username and the password. So when you go to log in, there are two boxes that say username and password. And that's kind of what everybody's used to seeing. When you go to log into a site, you type that in and you go.
If you're creating a new account, you will still initiate the process through the Social Security website, but they will verify your identity through one of two external partners, either login.gov or id.me. Login.gov is the public's one account for simple, secure, and private access to participating U.S. government agencies, while id.me is a single sign-on provider that meets the U.S. government's online identity proofing and authentication requirements.
But the issue that I think a lot of people run into is if you created your account with us after September 18th of 2021, then you would have used one of our two external partners that we use to verify identity, either login.gov or id.me. So there are links on the sign-in page for both of those as well. So really, when you first get there are three ways or three paths you could choose to log in. You could enter the username or password, or you click on login or sign in with login.gov or sign in with id.me. And I think a lot of people get confused by that because they just start to enter stuff into the password and username boxes. And, really that's not going to apply for everybody. So just pay attention to when you set that account up.
When you go to log into your account, you have to pay attention to which login option you're choosing. If you establish your account before September 18th, 2021, and you have a username or password, enter that login screen where prompted. If you created your account after that date, you have to click on the sign in with login.gov or sign in with id.me. If you aren't sure, it's likely login.gov because that is the default.
And a lot of times what people do is they have to write their information down and save it in a secure place because, who can keep track of all your usernames and passwords? So a little bit of a hint that I will give you, if you've got your My Social Security information written down somewhere and you have a username and a password, that's probably the old style. But if you have an email address and a password, that's going to be the new style. So you're going to look to the login.gov or id.me. And then the other thing I would point out there is if you're not sure if it was login.gov or id.me, it's probably login.gov because that's kind of the default. So if you didn't specifically pick id.me for some reason, I would say try the login.gov. That's probably the route. And remember, if it's an email address and a password you have written down, you probably need to go in through the login.gov button.
At the mySocialSecurity account, it's beneficial for anyone of any stage of life. Myers encourages everyone to set up an account and do some exploring to find out more. News time is 27 minutes after 7 o'clock. Plenty more to wrap us up coming up on the WHOW Morning Show.
If you think a new or used car is in your future, the time is now to call the Baum Chevrolet Buick sales team here in Clinton or Farmer City. This is Scott Baum. With a professional sales consultant in your corner, the vehicle search is easy. Meet with our sales team to go over your wants and needs. We'll start the search and do all the legwork for you. With so many models and options to choose from, we can help you get the information you need. BaumChevyBuick.com. Right from the start.
News time is 28 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Monday. We stream to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agents in Clinton. Celebrating the IAA scholarship recipients is the name of the game. Abigail Heft is finishing up her sophomore year at Southern Illinois University in Carbondale. She's the recipient of the $1,000 Collegiate Farm Bureau Scholarship. Heft says SIU has a strong Collegiate Farm Bureau chapter.
Well, I really love the people that are involved in this program, and I think that honestly, we probably had the most students at Young Leaders and annual meeting. I saw some different chapters from around the state, but I think we definitely had the most student involvement, which makes me really proud to be a Saluki. And also, we just do a lot of cool events on campus. We recently did a legislative meet and greet where we got to meet with some local legislators and talk about agricultural issues. And we do some community service around campus, but I really like the outreach and being able to connect with a lot of the young leaders, because it's kind of hard to make the college to career transition when you don't have someone that you can kind of talk to about it. I'm studying forestry, which includes a lot of really hands-on courses. We go out in the field a lot, which I really enjoy. And I am minoring in crop and soil environmental management, which also includes a lot of really hands-on learning at our university farms.
Heft is a graduate of Normal West High School. Coverage of news brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters. And again, we stream to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agents in Clinton. Network news on the way.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. It was a quick-thinking police officer